Hey guys, welcome back. And today we are going to take a look at the index.js, which is the fetch function where we would fetch the data using a post request. So it's kind of like Ajax if you're familiar with any kind of web development. But anyways, the package that we will use is Axios, and this is React Axios. I just discovered it. I didn't know it existed when I wrote my app, but the one that we're going to use is Axios. Now, if we go look in the documentation, you can see that it has some examples of how it's used. And this particular example is how we're going to use it. Now, if we flip back to our project, I want us to make an index.js file within our services API folder. You can already see that I've already put the code in because typing this out would actually take a long time. So, as usual, stop this video and copy this code in your project and we'll go on and explain it. So I hope you got that copied down. And the first things first, async storage. That's basically like cookies for React Native. It allows us to save our tokens so we could use it later. And that's exactly what we do in the bottom fetch function, and I'll describe that in a bit. But this options function would take an endpoint, a payload, a method, and a token. So the method basically is either a put, post, get, or delete, but we're mainly concerned about post and get. And the URL and the endpoint, remember the URL from the constants? That's exactly what we're using here. We're using this API URL to get the base of our API call. And the endpoint is going to be something like /login or /signup/profile, for example, in order to get the right data for the correct screen. Now, the token is something that we will set whenever the user logs in, because we'll take their data that they've given us and we'll make a JSON web token from that, and then that's the token that we'll use to authenticate the user to tell us that this is who they say they are. So the data is basically whatever parameters that we take and throw to the API. Now, this fetch function is a little bit interesting. Notice that we're using a promise and we're also using Axios to kind of put the response that we get, or we're going to catch the error. So this is pretty much asynchronous. So when we sent the command, we just wait back for it, and when the response comes back, then we'll do something with it. That's what this then function is for. Now, in Axios, what I basically did is I took the parameters for Axios and I made it into a function, and then I just threw that into this parameter here, and Axios will then use those parameters to actually make the call to our API. Now, remember, we're not going to work on the API in this series. It's going to be another one because it's a really big thing by itself. But we're going to take the response back, and you can see I have all these bunch of console logs, and that was me testing what kind of data that I get back. So if you just uncomment these comments, then for example, if you're kind of curious about what the data would be, then you'll do response.data, what the status is, like a 200, which is okay, or a 401 or a 307 or whatever. You can do that, and the headers and the configs if you're interested in all that kind of stuff. But usually you're only interested in them when you're getting an error, which is what the catch function is for. So you see that I have all these error.responses. That means when we get an error, I want to see what error we get so that I could debug it, so I can see what went wrong. So that's basically what all this is about. I think I got this from somewhere else, but I don't remember where. But I was just getting kind of like 400 errors and I didn't know why. So I put those console logs there in order to help me debug. So that's a really short video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. We still have a lot. We might go back to the login.js because I think there's some things that we need to do there. But other than that, please rate, comment, subscribe if you're liking these videos, so I'll stay motivated to make more. And please join us at our mailing list, which would be in the description, so that you can get certain files that I'm not uploading to YouTube because I don't know how to. So I'm just keeping them on the drive, and I'll send you guys a link when you join that mailing list. Other than that, please rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.